likes your skin. Your scent draws me in. Hope you'll leave some behind whenever you go. Your hand seeks my hand. Know you'll leave me a mess, but I hope for the best. Don't know what you want. How can't you see what is right in front? Or is there something else that you need? 'Cause you might just lead me on. Please don't take me too far. It will be what never was. Maybe if I don't know. Spin me round. Hoping to God Dakota is too busy working to come down here. Hi, my name is Cohen Cadell. I do a little bit of everything and a whole lot of nothing. I'll be honest with you. I think last time I left you off with a really terrible quality what I did in 2025 video. And you know what? That's kind of the summary of 2025. I'm trying, but it's kind of not going great. So 2026 is literally tomorrow for me. And I made a little goals list on my phone. So I'm gonna knit some and talk about what my goals are. I have to frog that and redo the yarn. These were supposed to be mittens, but this is supposed to be a mitten, and it's okay. But I didn't have the needles, and I was just trying to wing it, and it's not going how I want it, and I finally have some needles, so I'm gonna frog that, rewind my yarn, and try it again. It's supposed to go with my bear hat. But I'm gonna talk about my 2026 goals. I have categories, and for our first category, it's just general goals for the year. General goals. Actually, let me check really quick. I'm doing an increase. Okay. Let's see if I can remember that. So my general goals for 2026 is save money, obviously. I feel like that's something I should have been doing, but listen, we live fast and loose around here. Specifically for car repairs, and I think this year I had to change 3 tires, which my tires aren't too expensive, and of course I have family to help me, so it's not that big of a financial burden considering I work for family, and I don't make a whole lot, but saving up would be nice, because I think we had to replace 3 tires. There was just a lot of car repairs, I know, and then we had the speed sensor was messing up, which was causing my transmission to mess up, so that was fun. My car is a little bit older. She's a little rough around the edges, but I love Ruby. I love her a lot. So definitely saving up for stuff in general, but definitely for car repairs. And maybe on the side, like $10 here or $10 there for a Subaru, specifically a Crosstrek or Outback. I don't know what happened, but I suddenly became in love with Subarus, specifically those two as well. Those like models. I don't know how to call car things. That breed of Subaru, I love the Subarus, and could I ever afford a brand new one? No. But you know, saving for a car that I want would be nice. That would be really nice. I would love to have a Subaru. But saving money, generally, is my general thing. I put cook more on there. I've definitely fallen out of love with cooking this year. It's just really stressful, and I've had texture issues with a lot of food here lately, where I just cannot eat the same things that I have been eating. I think eating beef a lot has really, beef has started really messing up my stomach, so I haven't been eating a lot of beef and whatnot, busier and whatnot. I just haven't been cooking as more, and I think I want to specifically cook more, I guess, because fall in love with cooking again. I used to really love cooking when I was getting like a meal kit to cook with, when I didn't have to overthink ingredients and meal prepping and planning and stuff like that. I was really having fun with cooking and trying new things, and I want to get back into that. I don't know if that means I have to get another meal prep thing or just figure out how to do kind of like a meal kit thing, but at home maybe? I don't know. I just want to figure out how to fall back in love with cooking because I've really fallen out of love with it. Plan my wedding. I am engaged. I've been engaged for about a year. Oh, I'm dropping my stitch. Come back. Ye cannot escape your fate. I really need to start planning my wedding. And a lot of that is going to fall onto me because I guess technically it is me who wants like the big wedding thing. My partner is completely okay with just doing a courthouse wedding thing. I have never wanted to get married before. Not really, you know, and tell my partner, just because, you know, having parents that have been divorced several times, it has to mean a lot to me, and this relationship does mean a lot to me, and I want a wedding that is going to mean a lot to me. That's going to have, like, I want it to be, it's not just a wedding, you know, like I want it to be a celebration of our relationship and us together. Not just go to the courthouse, get it done and over with. Just for me, it's important for me to do it that way. I don't know if I added an increaser there or not. You know, just, I want it to be special because I feel like this is probably my only time that I will get married. But I really need to start planning that, like what kind of like outfit I want, the venue, flowers and decorations and stuff. And the ceremony itself, because neither one of us are religious, and is it definitely going to be very, you know, traditional American wedding? Probably. But I want to get a binder and print out things and have like a visual in front of me planner kind of thing. But I need to find a venue, what catering, which catering is really stupid, but we have a local hot dog vendor in this area that I'm like, hey Bob, can you cater for my wedding? Because I love hot dogs. But you know, just do that stuff. I really need to do that stuff this year. I don't think we'll have our wedding this year either, 2026. Just because that's definitely not enough time for me to prepare. Also, 2026, we have 2 weddings that we're going to. One is his niece. She's getting married. And then my little sister is also getting married, and it's literally a month apart. At the beginning of the year. It's gonna be busy. Definitely not gonna have another 2026 wedding. Sorry, but no. And then for another general goal is I want to really like get into learning Korean. Last year in 2025, me and my sister-in-law went to Stray Kids concert, their Dominate tour in Texas. That was super duper fun. Loved it. The sound was a little iffy because it was a baseball stadium, but otherwise it was really fun. I had so much fun. And we did do a couple of like Korean lessons together. I would go over to her house once a week and we'd hang out, learn some Korean and whatnot. She's definitely more into it than I am. But I want to pick it back up and like learn it. Not just for K-pop, but I also like K-dramas and stuff. Do I ever think I would probably go to Korea? Once I knew more about like the culture and history and stuff, because I do really like history. Like some of my favorite K-dramas are historical, but just learning more of like history and culture and stuff and being decently influenced, I would like to go to Korea for like maybe a weekend or so. I do enjoy a lot of K-pop and K-dramas and stuff, and just knowing a little bit of the language so I don't have to sit there and read subtitles all the time would be nice. So I could knit and watch K-dramas. That would be fun. So that's another goal that I have, just to do, you know, maybe a couple minute lessons a day on my app. that I have and that I pay for that I need to use. So that's also another motivator. I think that's it for the general. So creative goals. I do have knitting on here, but it's completely different, separate category. So for creative goals, 2025, I was really burned out on a lot of things and I've just lost interest in it. Like writing and drawing. I don't think, like after the middle of the year, I really don't think I did anything. Writing specifically, I want to make it more of a hobby again than what it was, just a bunch of nonsense. Write more fan fiction. I do love fan fiction. I kind of fell out of reading fan fiction and stuff too. So I want to write for joy as a hobby again. Absolutely no stress on myself, make as many mistakes as I want, because I do enjoy writing as a hobby and it is a creative outlet for me, but I don't think I will continue it as in something that a more serious path like I wanted to. I don't think I have the resilience to do publishing as much as I thought I wanted to. Maybe self-publishing, but definitely not to a demand, you know? Like I have the alien romance with like Go Like Men that I really love, that I think about all the time, and I would love to write that and share it with people, but I definitely don't think it would be anything more as than like a hobby and just want to have fun with it, you know? That being said, I do want to try this year to write a short story, probably a horror short story, because I really love short story horror. God, it's not like scary, not a scary story, a horror story that leaves you feeling a little uncomfortable, a little disturbed, and going, oh my god, where you sit there and think about it, but not like just something that leaves you a little uncomfortable and you think about it for a little bit after, especially when the lights go out. That's a short story that I want to write. So that's my like writing goals for the year. Art goals for like digital art, drawing kind of stuff. I did get a watercolor set the other day. I don't know anything about watercolor and I haven't done a lot of traditional drawing in forever. I did do something where I was just testing out the colors and it was kind of cute. But I want to really learn watercolors this year too, and just have like a little watercolor sketchbook just for fun. I don't know if you know what VTubers are, but they're like virtual avatars for people who do streaming and stuff. They're very popular on Twitter. My partner does streaming. He does a bunch of randomizer stuff and he has a face cam. But he said sometimes he just wants to go live and have like interaction, but without having to show his face. He's just like taking a break, you know, from the face cam. And he has a character called Skip Chylark. Take a while to guess of what that is. And I made him a previous VTuber, but it's old, and that was like the first and only time I had ever messed with VTuber Studio or whatever, Live 2D. And art. I've improved a lot since then, I think. Make him one of those. That's what he asked. He said he wanted it for Christmas, but it was already like Christmas by the time we decided we were getting each other for Christmas. And it's definitely gonna take a while. But I want to ease back into like digital art with that. Make him something, learn how to rig it and whatnot. Just give him a little gift that he can use when he's fatigued from his face cam. So that's also something I plan to do this year. Probably within the first couple of months is my goal for that. No, I think that's all for like art related that way. Reading, that's creative. I've done a lot of reading. I did a pretty good last year reading. I think I ended up with, I read 26 books last year. Average time to finish was 1 month, and my highest mood was dark and mysterious. I read a lot of medium paced, entirely fiction. I read a lot of romance. Romance, mystery, and historical I read a lot of, which makes sense. I think for December I definitely had a time travel vibe going on where people would travel into the past to have their romance. It was great. Contemporary thriller, fantasy, horror, LGBTQIA+. It was all over the place. But my goal, pause. I think Dakota's coming downstairs. We revisited. I don't know if you can hear him, but he's upstairs again. Anyways, I was talking about reading. So my reading goals for this year is to read 36 books. I think if I buckle down and actually do it, because that's like 3 books a month, I don't know math, so maybe that's wrong, but that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Because I have a lot of unread books on my bookshelf because I was doing book of the month and I was falling back behind on that. So I paused book of the month, but I would like to have book of the month. I'd like to have book of the month again, but I need to catch up on all the books I have not read. I've only got one bookshelf and it's already very crowded. So I guess getting a bookshelf is also another goal of mine this year. But on top of reading 36 books, I want to start borrowing from my library more. So I at least want to borrow one book a month from their library. I think that would be my goal. So read 3 books a month for 36 books this year while borrowing one of those books from their library. And then to start that off with, the Storygraph is doing a January challenge where it's like you read every day for the 31 days. And I think it's you have to read 1 page or listen 1 minute to like audiobooks. And my commutes are long, so I try to read. I try to listen to my audiobooks while I'm driving because I have a long drive. So those are my goals. I think it's doable. I just need to buckle down. I think that's it for, general creative stuff. Oh, wait, no. And then with YouTube, I want to get back into YouTube, making videos. Not a whole lot because sometimes it's really stressful. But I want to film, edit, and post 1 video a month, which isn't a whole lot. But I'm going to try. And it's not going to be like consistent things. It's literally just going to be whatever I'm doing at the moment. If that's writing or reading or knitting, I think. Or just, I do want to get into more outdoor stuff. So maybe that. Just kind of like a video diary kind of thing, I think is kind of where I'm going to go forward with this. Okay, I think that's done with like the general creative thing because I want to talk about knitting. I'm going to have a lot of pop-ups for this part. I didn't think so. So my GoPro camera dying. So I guess on my 2026 goals, I need to add GoPro batteries. You can't see me knit. This is terrible. Anyways, I think it cut out while I was reading out my knitting goals for this year was to knit. Mostly, I'll be honest with you. I'm trying to tell you what my goals for knitting was. Mostly just to knit more stuff and learn crochet. That's in the future too. And sewing, but that's future stuff. Knitting goals, because it's going to be big. That was weird. I decided to go ahead and write it down. I want to, this is the step-by-step sweater. I'll put pictures and links to the Ravelry and stuff down below, but finish my step-by-step sweater. And then do the divergence mitts. Because like January, February, March is probably the coldest time for Arkansas. These were supposed to be the mittens. I think they were turning out okay, but I was learning how to use DPN. And where I put the hole was too far down. I was using the wrong size completely on these, and I thought I could power through and I was doing okay, and then I put the thumb in the wrong spot. It was too down low and I had a crash out about it. But I have the correct size needles and stuff, and I know how to do the magic loop and the traveling loop now, as I've learned with my sweater, so we will be doing that. So I'm going to try to make those again. They're going to match my little bear hat. I want to start doing socks, so I have the I'm So Basic sock pattern that I'll have right here. I want to learn how to do that. I do think I need to get like yarn for that, and then I want to do the Runo vest. I think it's cute. I want to do that, and the cloud cardi, because who needs a good cardigan? I do. And then the modern mountain throw blanket. It looks really pretty, and I want a nice cozy little throw blanket. You can never have too many blankets. Also for the future, I will need lots of blankets. And then a couple of like little headband things. The Elsa headscarf, I think it's cute. I think it's lace work, but we're gonna learn how to do that. The Erla bandana, and then the Rico scarf, and The Open Edge Tee. I think that's kind of like the projects that I definitely want to do. Like the projects that I found on Ravelry that I want to do right now. Probably a couple more dishcloths, face washcloths, redo those, and and I know it's not like in any order, and I know I'll probably pick up more than I want to do, start and stop projects and whatnot as I go through and get more interested in stuff like color work. I need to learn how to do color work. It's a little intimidating, but I'll probably enjoy it once we get there. Also, I have my niece's birthday coming up in January, and I want to see if I can knit her a scarf. And I think that's it for like knitting projects that I want to do. Definitely, and I'll put links for everything down there in the description box, as well probably just a link to my Ravelry. Very interesting stuff happening over there. I don't know if you can see all my notes for my projects, but listen, I talked to myself in my notes. The mittens specifically is a nightmare. Okay, and that leads to my last one is camping. I called it the touching grass section in my notes app. Quite literally, I want to touch my grass. The big goals for that little section was I want to get a tent to go tent camping. And you know, your basic camping gear and whatnot that you need for like campground tenting for the basic gear that you need for campground camping. And I want to get a kayak. I've been kayaking a couple of times and I really like it. And I think if I had my own kayak and figured out how to haul it around on my little sedan, not that there's a lot of places to go kayaking here, but even if it's just like around a little pond or something, that'd be fun. I do want to go kayaking more. I want to get my own kayak. I want to learn how to go fishing. Like, I know the basics of fishing. I've never really enjoyed fishing, but I feel like this year I definitely want to do fishing. My family likes to go fishing. It's a very popular recreational activity, so I want to give it more of an effort. I need to get over my fear of fish, worms, and frogs. So I guess that's technically little sub-goals within that 2026 goal. Which is all to say, I want to do all of that because I want to do solo camping this year. Nothing too big, just to like little campgrounds. But my family does a lot of camping and I would like to go with them, but I'd also like to do solo camping. And then go on more walks. I did a lot of walking in 2025 and then I fell off the bandwagon again. So I want to try that and go hiking. There's not too many hiking trails exactly where I am. It's a bit of a drive to go there, but I think that'll be fine. But I need to get like really good shoes and clothes and stuff for it. But I would like to go hiking more. I think that's pretty much it for touching grass. It's just spending more time outdoors, and then the solo camping is going to be a really big thing. To be honest, that's a big endeavor. And I think that is all of my 2026 goals. There's quite a few of them. I've never really made goals for the year, so I think you'll notice there's a lot of touching grass, of getting offline and doing stuff with my hands. This year, 2026 goals is that I just want to be present with the people I care about, but also have me time that is beneficial to me, that gives me peace and, you know, learning how to be alone without being lonely. To enjoy things slow, I guess, is kind of what I'm really aiming for, because 2025 felt very fast. Like there was a lot of things going on all the time, and then I never had any time to do anything with people or for myself. So 2026 is going to be figuring out what makes me happy and how to live life at a slower pace, you know? This video is probably super duper long, so I'm gonna end it here. Thanks for watching, and I'll probably see you later.